With just under 9 minutes to go in the game today between the St. Louis Rams and Green Bay Packers, Steven Jackson scored his first rushing touchdown of the year, giving Rams fans the slightest bit of hope that they were going to be able to pull out a home upset against the Green Bay Packers. It wasn't to be, and over the next couple minutes, 5 minutes or so, we really got a summary of what the game was. It was Aaron Rodgers' show. He took the Packers 80 yards, capped it off with a 39-yard touchdown to Randall Cobb on a beautiful throw, and it really summarized what the Rams had done all day. Tried to provide a bend-don't-break defense, hope that maybe a mistake would be made or that you'd get the key third down stop, and it didn't happen. Packers were 9 of 15 on third downs. Rodgers would finish with more than 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Big contribution from Jordy Nelson, especially early on. 8 catches, more than 120 yards with his touchdown to boot. On the offensive side, the Rams were really disjointed, something I'm going to bring up in a bit. The red zone offense was not clicking. A really poor decision from Bradford to try to hit Givens down the sideline deep in his own territory. And all this in spite of a pretty strong rushing game. Steven Jackson and Daryl Richardson combined for 20 rushes for nearly 100 yards. It was really a strong rushing effort that I would have liked to seen them build upon, but for whatever reason, that just didn't happen. And looking forward, I think there are 3 outstanding issues, the first of which is that offensive identity. I'm not sure without Danny Amendola on the field if there is a go-to guy. You would think maybe it would be Steven Jackson with his experience and the fact that when he gets really emotional, he's so hard to bring down. Scored his first touchdown today. He would be the obvious candidate, but that's not really happening right now. You've got a mix of Chris Givens and Brandon Gibson and Daryl Richardson and Steven Jackson. So I'm interested to see as they move forward with New England and London next week, then a bye week, and then San Francisco 49ers in Cali. That's going to be 2 huge opportunities to kind of say, look, we've got a season ahead of us. We need to know who we are and really establish themselves, not necessarily to the media or on a national stage, but for themselves to understand who are the 2012 St. Louis Rams on offense, because I don't know the answer to that. Defensively, on the other hand, it was a different philosophy, something similar to the Detroit game where it's kind of bend or break, but you leave so much underneath. And when you face quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, who, while he made mistakes in week 1 leading to 3 interceptions, he can still take advantage of that. The Rams weren't able to win that one. And today against Aaron Rodgers, it really wasn't as close as the score indicated. He was so methodical. And 30 of 37, I mean, the completion percentage, including a spike, speaks for itself. He really had an easy day just picking guys underneath. So defensively, it is an interesting look. I'm concerned that moving forward against bigger and better teams, especially in the passing game, that the Rams are going to kind of let off when it feels like maybe they need to press on the gas. Perhaps the reason they're not doing it is the performance you saw from Janoris Jenkins today. It really just wasn't that good. Too many mistakes, biting on first looks, pump fakes, eye movement, helmet movement from Aaron Rodgers. But the reality is this is a young team. The Rams are pushing rookies into roles, starting positions that other teams, more experienced teams, and let's be frank, better teams, don't do. You have Michael Brockers registering his first sack as starting defensive tackle. You have Janoris Jenkins starting at cornerback. You have Daryl Richardson logging so much time at running back. You have Chris Givens logging so much time at wide receiver. And even the complementary pieces are rookies. Trumaine Johnson at corner. Brian Quick at wide receiver. There are so many different pieces that are coming from the rookie, and not just rookies, but second-year, third-year players. It's a really, really young team. And this is part of the growing pains, is that you have to deal with different philosophies and kind of working with different personnel units to find out who's clicking. It's kind of disconcerting, though, that they haven't really found that out to this point, especially when you talk about the red zone offense and kind of the mistakes we saw from Janoris Jenkins, who has provided us with some brilliant performances to this part of the season. So it is what it is. You face Aaron Rodgers sometimes. You won't face him but once this year if you're a Rams fan. So if there's a silver lining, I guess that's it. But for this Rams team, it's a bit painful to still be dealing with silver linings.